As we now know, Jill Price has a unique brain that can, in effect, relive her life day by day, including watching the TV shows she loved. I tested her memory with random clips. This is All in the Family. Can she guess which episode from a few seconds?
You ain't ugly.
1975. She had her baby on the 22nd of December, 1975. And this was right before.
She's right. By the way, she once helped work on a retrospective for CBS.
Like, who shot JR? And I would, explain what was going on and what, when it happened. And so it is useful in that respect.
What was the date of that episode?
Who shot JR was on March 21st, 1980, but we found out who shot JR on November 21st, 1980. And I can tell you what I was doing in both of those instances.
Final episode of MASH?
February 28th, 1983. And I can tell you what I was doing that day, and it was raining that day too.
And what about theme songs?
Rockford Files.
We brought one to try to stump her.
Blansky's Beauties. No?
I've never even heard of this show.
Blansky's Beauties aired only 3 months in 1977, when she was just 11. Today, she works as an administrator at a religious school. Her job history as unsettled as her life. She says she was 12 when she realized she'd begun to live 2 lives at once, the present and the past. Her mother, Roz.
She was not easy. And that's because everything that was going through her head, she couldn't explain.
Her brother, Mike.
There were things I would think to myself, why don't you just get over that? She doesn't.
It was hard for them because they didn't really know what to do for me. My brother is totally opposite of me, so they didn't, I'm screaming and yelling and crying, and they didn't really know what to do for me.
You can see the toll it seems to have taken on her year by year. This profound lesson she teaches about our memories, our lives. Is it possible our happiness and survival come from what we choose to edit, to forget?
Because you said at one point that we have no idea how much of ourself is created by editing our memories.
Right. And
to shape ourselves.
Right, and I don't do that. Like, I still feel bad about stuff that happened 30 years ago.
But we all do. And I mean, we can all remember 1 or 2 things.
It's not 1 or 2 things, everything. And I really live it and feel it. And I think, God, if I had just done this, then I wouldn't have done this, and I wouldn't be here, and I'm always constantly doing that.
Her father, Len, a Hollywood agent, looks back.
Most of us are like that oyster that has that little piece of grain of sand. It builds a pearl around it to smooth out the sand. And that's what our memories are, really. We forget all the bad things, or a lot of them, or they're dulled. The emotions are dulled. But with Jill, she's right there.
For instance, her mother, a dancer, remembers saying the usual 1 or 2 things about her daughter's weight gain. Jill has the days and dates.
She'll not realize that she said it 500 times. She'll think she said it 1 time.
And it has caused a weight problem for her, but there's nothing I could do about it anymore.
Jill wants us to know that too much memory living in the past is paralyzing.
It's uncontrollable. I actually probably should be in a mental hospital, because this makes me crazy. But I figured out a way to live with this.
I mean, think about your junior year in high school. Now, what can you remember?
Dr. Cahill and Dr. Begaw of the University of California, Irvine say there's something else they've learned about that mysterious part of Jill's brain which is larger than usual. It's an area associated with OCD.
We believe that she has strong tendencies toward the obsessive-compulsive.
Could her brain be storing an infinity of memories, just as some OCD patients hoard things?
We don't think it is an accident that the tendency to collect is both for objects and for memories. We think these are related, and we think that the brain does it, and we want to figure out how.
Save things, hoard things?
I don't like the word hoard. But yeah, I mean, I have the first doll that was put in my crib. I have the first gift that was given to me when I was born. This is my notebook from senior year in high school.
Well,
It's like breathing.
Have you tried drugs?
What kind of drugs?
Antidepressants?
That doesn't work either.
There is only one thing that did make a dramatic difference. 2002, she starts conversing online with a man named Jim Price. They meet, fall in love, and marry.
He just got me right from the very beginning, and we laughed all the time, and he was my best friend.
When she and Jim were together, it seemed like that was gone. That didn't matter. You know, all the baggage of the memories that she had were kind of put away.
For a few years, she had doctors to help her, a husband who adored her. Then, 2 years after the marriage, tragedy. Jim, a diabetic, died of a stroke at the age of 42. Another day to relive in full pain over and over again.
And we could say time heals all wounds. Doesn't for her.
Her best friend, Wendy Lavoie.
I think Jill's brave, and I think she has a lot of courage.
And she's my hero because of it. I don't think she knows that. She will.
Before we go, she brings something for me, an article from almost 40 years ago. I was in my 20s.
I have no memory at all of this. Oh my gosh. Oh,
I think you were working at the White House.
Grief, I was working at the White House.
In her book, The Woman Who Can't Forget, she says she's trying to learn to live forward, inspired by her husband, learning to laugh at her difficult gift.
What's so great about Jill is Jill will call me on any given day and she'll say, Wendy, do you remember what we did 20 years ago today? I'm like, you're kidding, Jill. I don't remember what I had for lunch today.
Little cerebellum.
At the same time, the doctors hope she'll help unlock the secrets of Alzheimer's, of genius, and the way all of us remember.
I don't want to go too crazy here, but it could, revolutionize is maybe too big of a word, it could profoundly influence how we think the brain stores memories.
All right, I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to do one more. Shakespeare in Love wins 7 Oscars.
March 21st, 1999.
Well, I give up.
I told you, you can't
I
stop me.
surrender.
Can't stop
I
me.
surrender.